and I was raped by this guy that I was dating. And I immediately just kind of almost like shut down, basically. There was me blaming myself, thinking, well, I should never have gone back to his place. I was also telling myself that it was it was my fault, that this would really hurt my family, that I was very well aware as a doctor and just as, as someone in society, from the news that conviction rates for rape are very low. And I just thought, after thinking about all these things, just like the best thing is really just to keep quiet about it. And essentially I was silenced for 3 years. And I guess the turning point really was in 2018. I'm terrified, but I believe it's my civic duty to tell you what happened to me. And it was only a couple of days after hearing those words that I then went to the police and reported what happened to me. And so this is really the first time I'm then speaking to someone about what happened to me. And I had this lovely female police officer come to my house, and I really just cried. But it was after having told the police that I really started to find it difficult to pretend. And so I then decided that I would speak to a friend of mine and tell them what happened to me. And he was actually the one that suggested perhaps going for therapy. It was a very kind of stilted conversation where I kind of left the session feeling worse than I had when I'd gone in. But thankfully, my friend basically convinced me a few months later to go back to therapy, and I've found a different therapist this time who I spoke to prior to our first session, knew that there was an immediate connection, and actually she was the one that I continued to see weekly for 3 years. And that's really when I think my healing began. And over that 3 year period, I think probably the thing that, well, the two things really I got out of it were learning to be vulnerable. We put on this mask and we suppress any emotions that are there. And the benefits that I have found by sharing my story are that I've been able to have stronger connections with my loved ones.